everybody. It's me, Edward Jones, back with a new video. This video will be about your reputation and demeanor, and how such a thing can apply to, maybe a major event or even just some small events. Um, I wanted to do this video because it's something I normally hear about myself from others in public. Also from some friends. I've often been asked, or I guess maybe confused about whether I've been in the military or not, which I haven't. Came close to joining the Marines when I was in almost around my senior year in high school, but didn't go through with it and went to college instead. But to this day, I get confused for being so, or really people just figured that I may have been military. I've gotten questions as of, was I ever served in the military from some of the questions I asked. I remember I asked one guy at a gun show. He was an author, and he served in Vietnam, in the Army, and we talked a bit about his time in Vietnam. I asked about how the people were, some of his experiences. He shared with me some things about combat, some of the things he witnessed. He talked to me about man he's killed, and I didn't press him on the issue. He felt free in sharing it. I asked him one day, because I was always curious about how his training helped him. And he said it's helped him in different ways with, knowing, knowing how to, knowing the proper way to use his weapon, knowing how to act, under high stress situations. A lot of it, he said, came, it just came out, it just happened. He mentioned tunnel vision, and during our conversation, he asked me, was I military? And I said no. He said no, I'm not in the military. I'm just a working guy. He said, I asked him, why'd you ask? And he said, just from the questions I asked him, seemed more to come from someone who may have served in some branch. And I said, no, I'm just someone who's, just interested in the subject. I remember one day I was at my job. I work at a bicycle shop, and I was wearing one of my mil-spec monkey hats. I normally wear with the deaf mechanic patch. I was wearing that, and one of the guys behind the counter was saying, he mentioned something about the military, and he said, that guy looked like he's been in the military. I said, I don't think I want to tangle with him. He's like, he fucked me up. And I was like, me? He said, yeah. I'm like, oh, well, I've never been in the military. And, one day I was actually testing out my butt-out bag. I was hiking up a hill. Not really a hike, just going for a long walk, and I stopped in a restaurant. Not necessarily because I was tired, but I was doing it on an empty stomach, so I got pretty hungry. And I brought my pack in, and maybe it could have been my pack because my pack was in it's a digital camo. And I went to the bathroom and washed my hands. And then when I came out and I finished my meal, I asked for the check, and the waitress told me, some guys already paid for your meal. They said they always wanted to help someone out who's been in the military. I said, I'm not in the military. This happened about 2 years ago, and I asked, are they still here? Because I wanted to, pay them back for what pay them back for the money. They paid for my meal, thinking I was someone who was in the military, which was cool and all, but I didn't want to get it under false pretense. So she said they already left. So I just left. I left the waitress a big tip. I didn't know how to handle that. And one day, I talked to a friend of mine, and he said, "Well, your demeanor it seems like someone who's been someone who's in the military. He's been in ROTC and done sometimes. He's done a little work in the Navy, and he said, just the way you present yourself, just you have a sense of self-confidence. Just the way I look, my stance, I stand up straight." Stand at attention a lot of times. Don't really have much of emotion on my face a lot. And he said that's more or less the look of someone who's served in the military at some point. I said, well, it's strange because it's a look I've always had. In fact, it's funny. This picture is close by. I'm gonna show you a picture of me when I was about 6 years old, and you tell me. You see that picture? I mean, you tell me if that's if that's a military face, because I've been told that. And how this relates to SHTF on various degrees. Like I said, going back to the guy who was at my job, he said he didn't think he wanted to tangle with me. The way you present yourself matters. I do understand camouflage in terms of just blending in with your surroundings. But sometimes I guess with me, there's a whole seen but not noticed. But what's true about my demeanor, someone I may be seen, and I may get noticed, really just from the way I look. And it can come in at an advantage. The way I see it, anything has, there's a flip side to every coin, but the advantage I see to my demeanor is that less people may want to, I guess, try to challenge me. They may think that, I may have a military background or something like that, or I just like a tough guy, which I'm not. I don't think I'm a tough guy. I don't like being pushed around. I will defend myself if necessary, and I will defend others if necessary. But I guess if you get to know me, I'm a pretty friendly person. One of my coworkers in the same job, she said that when she first met me, she thought I was just real mean. And I told her, I didn't mean to come off that way. I'm just usually pretty quiet around new people until I kind of get a feel for who they are. People will normally they can take a guess at what kind of person is in front of them, generally by how they look. Sometimes I guess could be wrong, sometimes it could be right. But I would say if you can, whatever look you may have, try to use it to your advantage. If people think that you serve in the military, which I'm an advocate of people put forth a lie that they have served just because of their appearance. But if people think that, I believe you're less likely to be messed around with. They may take you to being someone who doesn't have time for mess, someone who's pretty straightforward, someone who doesn't like to be dicked around, essentially. It could be a quality that it'd be good for everyone to have, but everyone's different. So I say whatever quality you may have, you could possibly use it to your advantage. I have some friends, they're jokesters, and they're very lively, and that could come to their advantage as well. Some people may think they may have some information that may be useful, or rather, they see more as a people person, someone that they may be able to be friendly with, someone they may be easier to deal with. Some people may think that I wouldn't be easy to deal with because of my demeanor. That they may think I'm a hard ass, which isn't necessarily the case. If you come off as weak, frail, anything like that, I'm not really sure how you could use it to your advantage. I'm not sure how you could. Maybe you could maybe throw some people off. This person may be harmless, may not. Maybe this person this person shouldn't be perceived a threat. Or you can maybe use that to your advantage. Maybe just from your appearance, people may think that you're frail and weak from how you look, but you could surprise them if they do try something. If they do try something and you surprise them, I'd say in that moment go all out. Especially if your life's on the line, or the people that you care for, their life's on the line. Maybe even more so in that instance. I believe that as time goes on, I probably will hear more of the same things from other people that I come in contact with. They they may think, wow, this guy must be in the military, or just the way he cuts his hair. I get that quite often. I just keep my head clean shaven. I love wearing hats. And And who knows? In fact, I even think that may have given me some perks when I go to gun shows. I had a couple of times where I had a price drop. On a gun I was looking at. I remember one guy had a rifle he was selling for that 30-30 I bought. It was he had a sticker on it, and well, he had a note card. It had the Winchester 1894 30-30. He had 350, crossed it out, and had read 325. And he said, "Hey, I'll sell it to you for 300." Because I showed some interest, but my demeanor could also have mattered. And there was another instance where I had a huge drop from 1911 I bought my Springfield GI 45. I had my cowboy hat and had my 1911 T-shirt, and I had a flannel shirt on top of that. And I guess, along with my demeanor, I asked him, man, he had a price on it. It was $625. And I asked him, how much you want for this? He looked at me and he said, 5.5. That's a huge drop from what he was selling it for. But I say whatever your demeanor is, I'd say use it to your advantage. It could come in handy. It could help you in a tough spot. You may be able to ward off some people who may think they can tangle with you. You may be able to throw some people off who may try to cause confrontation with you. You can fool people. You are able to fool people with the way you present yourself. I guess if I was people ask me, "Oh, you're in the military?" I said, "No, I'm not. I'm not in the military. It's just how I look." And roll with it in that direction. But tell me if you have, share with me if you had any instances where your demeanor may have gave people an impression about what kind of person you were, whether it was negative or positive. Please share it with me in the comments. Share it with others in the comments. As I only ask that if you have any grief, throw it towards me. Please be civil to those who leave comments in the comment section. But yeah, that's my video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm Edward Jones, and thank you for watching my video.